Hey guys, it's Zero again here with another vlog review. This time I'm going to be talking about the 2016 Ghostbusters film. It's been out for over a month, and it's no longer in theaters, I believe, but I'm going to talk about it now. I meant to do this a while ago, but I just haven't had the time to sit down and do it. Actually, the last time I did it, my camera ran out of juice. So, yeah, I've had bad luck all around with this review. So, Ghostbusters 2016. Before I hop into the full review, let me just say I love the movie. I thought it was a good movie. And before the lynch mobs come, let me explain my thoughts, and then y'all can just place your... Well, I'm not Southern. I don't know why I said y'all. Anyways, the Ghostbusters 2016 movie was a lot of fun. Before I went to see it, my pal CJ, our Canadian Jutsu, or Winslet 13, he was down. We watched the first and second Ghostbusters movie the nights before. Then the two of us went to go see the new one, the night after we saw the other ones. And that was good because it gave us a lot of perspective. We originally wanted to do this review together, but unfortunately we didn't have time, so we couldn't do it. Yeah, so basically, this version of the Ghostbusters, I guess you would say it's a reboot, but it's kind of, or a reboot or a remake, but it feels kind of like its own thing, so I kind of hate to put that moniker on it, but I'd say reboot, or attempted a reboot, and with an all-female cast, and that's the main thing here, except for the secretary, who's now played by the guy who does Thor. Anyways, Chris Hemsworth. So, anyways, what I liked about the movie was, I think they did a really good job taking a lot of the older effects, and making them CG. Now, a lot of people said they didn't like the look of the effects, and I'm like, these just look like CG versions, good CG versions, of the effects we had in the 80s movies. And, like, they did a pretty good job of trying to make specters and ghosts and stuff, and I'm like, okay, because they're not practical effects, they're automatically bad, which I think is not fair. For anybody who's a moviegoer, CG is not going away. It's not going away because it's cheap, it's fast, and it's a useful tool for making movies. Practical effects are getting more and more expensive as time goes on because of the materials. There still exist practical effects. The new Star Wars was a counter to that, though sometimes like to a fault, because there was no reason, for example, for BB-8 to be a physical effect. Probably would have been a lot less work to just make that a digital effect, but I digress. I'm not here to talk about Star Wars. Trust me, I'll have a vlog for that at some point. We're here to talk about Ghostbusters, and I thought the effects looked fine. Again, I'm not sitting here saying I accept CG because it's not going anywhere. I'm saying it looked good to me. Like, the effects looked pretty good. Compared to the original movie's effects, like the first ghost they encounter, the librarian-esque ghost, I think they did a pretty good job of doing the effects in this movie. They don't look too, they don't look too cheap. They don't look too, trying to be, like, out there, trying to be realistic. They just made them look fun, which is what I liked. For the characters, I liked the four Ghostbusters, especially Kate McKinnon as Holtzman. She's my favorite. I even got a little, from the new Ghostbusters line, I got a little chibi Holtzman. I don't know if the camera's going to focus on that, but I got a little chibi Holtzman. I want a Holtzman figure really bad, but every time I go to like a toy store or a figure store, they're always sold out of Holtzman and not of the other Ghostbusters. I like the other Ghostbusters, but Holtzman is my waifu. And, like, the internet has kind of exploded with stuff about her, so Kate McKinnon did a fantastic job. They all did a fantastic job. These are all funny women. They were all in different movies. They've been on SNL or other comedy things. They did stand-up. They're funny women. And I think they brought their own charm to this movie because it really felt different than the original Ghostbusters movie. The only thing that I'm a little concerned about is Chris Hemsworth being the dumb secretary guy. They played it up as him being a little too dumb, which I think was overkill. And I think some people who see this movie be like, see, the dudes are dumb in this movie, dur her. I'm like, no, this one guy is dumb. The villain was very interesting as well, though kind of stereotypical. But I do like some of the abilities he has. So, and I do like that I don't want to spoil it, but he gets more power because of something else happens that he let happen. So, I want to try to make this review as spoiler-free as possible. I do like the new weapons. I like the look of the new Ghostbusters. I like the cameos from the previous ones, except, let's see. Except the one from, what's his name? Bill Murray. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name there. Bill Murray's cameo was the weakest in my opinion. I do like the ones from Ernie Hudson and... I think it's Dan Aykroyd. Which one's Dan Aykroyd? I forget. Dan Aykroyd or Harold Ramis is the one that passed away. Dan Aykroyd, yeah. I thought their cameos were fine. I love that there's the one part who's like, yeah, it's a level 4 based vapor, and I'm just like, that's actually Ray, isn't it? I have this like, this is one thing that's kind of I don't like about the movie is a lot of people felt it should have been like a passing of the torch movie. That would have been a lot better in my opinion, or at least like a team up or something with the currently left Ghostbusters. I kind of wish that that had happened, and I think a lot of people feel the same way. But for what the movie is, I think they did a good job. One thing I'll say that I wasn't too impressed with was the soundtrack. A lot of the songs were... The remixes of the Ghostbusters themes were okay. Most of them were okay. Some of them were just a little too much. And, I mean, I wasn't expecting, like, music like, like from the original Ghostbusters movie, because that movie was made in the 80s, and that was a different time, so... But, like, I don't know. The pop music choices I wasn't a huge fan of. There were some I liked, but some I didn't like, so... basically, to make this whole thing... long and short, because I'm all over the place in this. I think the new Ghostbusters movie is great. It's sometimes called Answer the Call, to distinguish it from the original, because it had the controversy because of the trailers. I'm sure everybody knows about the controversy this movie had. But I think that it was a good movie, and I do realize there's a lot of people who have no interest in this movie. A lot of people who are upset that this movie exists, and there's a lot of people who do like this movie. The thing I should say to anybody who's curious about this movie, go see it because you want to see it. If you're going into this movie not wanting to watch it, like you're being forced to watch it, you're not going to have a good time, because you're probably not going to like it. Very rarely do I enjoy a movie that I'm forced to watch. And to the other side I want to say is, this movie, you know, it is nice to have, you know, we got female heroes and whatnot, but this movie isn't really about empowerment, and I'm kind of glad that it isn't, because if it was, it might have hurt the movie in some ways. And I know some people will argue and say, how could empowerment be bad in this case? I'm more interested in them focusing on the characters than focusing on the character's gender, and I think that's very important. Yes, I think it's nice that we do have a female Ghostbusters cast, and shows, I know that girls can be Ghostbusters too, because there's no reason why they can't be. But this is one of those things where I just think that it's not an empowerment movie, and I think anybody going into it hoping it's an empowerment movie, it might be a little disappointed, because again, that's not what the point of the movie is. It's a fun popcorn movie like the original was. And this is exactly why the sequel, Ghostbusters 2, way back in the day, didn't really work, because it's hard to recreate Ghostbusters. And I think a lot of people are going to have the same feeling on this movie. I, at some level, do. I like Ghostbusters 2, but I'll say that it's not that good of a movie. And I like this movie, but there are things about it that I personally dislike. And it's one of those movies where I'm not going to tell people to turn their brain off, because that's such a overused thing. Like, you know, turn your brain off and then you'll enjoy it. It's a popcorn movie. So go in expecting a popcorn movie and you'll enjoy it. But if you are looking for this like epic, you know, over the top, you know, thing, you might not get what you were looking for here. I expected a popcorn movie. I got a popcorn movie. And the other thing that's unfortunate is, because there's so much backlash about this movie, there's not going to be a sequel, even though they did hint one at the end. And it's unfortunate, because the hint that they gave classic Ghostbusters fans would love. And I think that they could do something interesting. I actually had an idea the other day. I'm like, what if the sequel was like the original Ghostbusters and the original Ghostbusters dimension and this one merged together, and they had to take on a common enemy. So it was like a crossover kind of movie. Wouldn't that be cool? I'm a sucker for crossovers because I like superhero movies, Japanese superhero movies, and Japanese superhero shows like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai and Power Rangers, and they always do that stuff. They always do crossovers every year. So I wish they would do more crossovers over here. Like Freddy vs. Jason is great, and there's some more I could think of, but wouldn't that be great to have a Ghostbusters crossover? I think that'd be perfect. And you know what? The Ghostbusters, original Ghostbusters actors, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, they're all still, able to act. They had pretty decent cameos in this movie, so it's doable. But to end off, I thought the 2016 Ghostbusters movie was pretty good. And again, if you want to go see it because you want to go see it. I made the mistake of trying to force some friends to go see it. And they didn't really want to, so I don't want anybody to have a bad look at this. It's one of those, it's ineffectual. I think Nostalgia Critic said it best he said it was just average. Like, it wasn't bad and it wasn't good. I thought it was good, but I kind of agree with what he said. It's just kind of average. And if this movie failing does kind of help Hollywood, kick its rear end to be like, we want more, original content, more good stuff, then maybe that's a good thing. It just is unfortunate that Ghostbusters had to be the franchise that had to take the fall on this one. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll still get that sequel. I know it's been announced that it's canceled, but Hollywood, or if anybody who's in control, if this happens, Ghostbusters crossover movie. That's the only way you're going to make it work, and that would be awesome. But anyways, guys, that's enough of my ramblings. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Give me a subscribe if you want to see more of these vlog reviews. Like me on Facebook and Twitter, Tumblr and Instagram if you want to connect with me. And I'll see you guys in the next vlog review. Take care.